I know last time we discussed, we, we went and discussed about the typography, the correction of kernels, and how to choose your color. But today, we'll be going into the presentation. And in subsequent classes, in subsequent tutorials I'll be dropping, I'll still be going into in-depth explanation of how to pick a right color because I feel I didn't talk much on that, and I'll still have to take it in subsequent classes. So let's just dive right into the presentation of Nolan. So I'll be opening the completed one I do before, then we'll redesign it from the scratch. So and this was the previous one I did before, and if you can see the first thing here is the icon in black. Then I have the icon and the grid lines and the explanation. The breakdown of the icon. Then the next one is the icon in color. Then the next is the icon on various background colors and how to interact with them. So the next one is the word mark, then the full logo, which is the word mark and the icon. Here's just a grid pattern that I used. So here is where the presentation has started, but here are some mock-ups. These mock-ups are self-generated right here in Coreldraw. So let me just dive right into it. So we already did the logo. So let me start a new document. I use 12 by 12 inches in my workspace. You double click on rectangle to fill the entire place with a rectangle. I'll remove the outline. The outline is originally black, so I'll remove it. Then white background. So what I did there was just to hit to place the square at the center of the page using the P on your keyboard. Just press P and it moves right there. So the first thing we have here is, let me just copy the full logo. So the first thing we have here is the icon, which will be, when you're presenting a logo, yeah, there are ways to present it. You present your icon, or you present your icon in black first, then you present the breakdown of your icon, or if you have a write-up on how you came across the icon or how you created the logo. If you have an explanation for it, I think that should be on the next slide. And on the third slide, you should have the icon in color. That's if you have a choice of color for the brand. But if it's still in black and white, then there won't be need for that anymore. There are some brands that actually go to just black and white. But if your icon, if the logo you design has a color, then it's ideal you put it on the next slide. I said it's like this. Let me just type it out. Icon, the breakdown, logo breakdown, slash grid line. So, this should be black and white or grayscale. Then the icon color. And the next should be the typography. That's if you used a font from your computer. It's not a custom font. And if it's a custom font, it will be typography slash custom font. After that, it should be logo application on different colors. Colors. And after that, some colors has name. You can name your colors. Then after that, those are like the basic things you need to like present to your client. If you are designing a logo for a client, even if it's not a full branding, all these stuffs are the basic stuffs that your client should have. Even if it's not a full branding, the icon, the explanation of the logo, which is the logo breakdown, starts the grid line of construction, then the icon in color, the typography, the logo application. No, before the logo application, you should have the full logo colored. Then after that, um, the logo application, then few mockups, few relatable mockups, few relatable mockups should be the next thing. So, following this, for practically every brand needs a business card. So for the mockups, you will need a mockup for a business card. Most brand needs a letterhead, mockup for a letterhead. Most brand needs an ID card, mockup for ID card, mockup for envelope. Those are like the basic mockups that most brand needs. So now let's start. We have our icon in black and white first. So now onto the next page, we have the icon in color. Well, let me go pick the color back from here. We just copy, right click, use the right click button to drag onto this, then copy field here. Yeah. So the icon in color, before the icon in color should be the breakdown of the logo, which is what I have here. This is the breakdown of the logo. So just copy this page. That's after this black and white. Yeah. So another thing you guys should have at the back of your mind is it is important that when you're presenting your logo to your client, you present it first in black and white. I don't know if you understand. It should be in black and white first. The reason is that if you present an already finished logo to a client, you've added color. Hmm? And the client doesn't like it. If the client doesn't like it, or the client is not feeling the logo, there's nothing you can do to make that client. There's practically nothing you can do to make that client feel that logo or like that logo again. But if you present to a client in black and white and the client is like, I'm not really feeling this logo, you can bring the logo to life by adding color. And the client was like, yes, maybe it was because of you didn't add color. I don't know. I'm just saying maybe the client could actually see the beauty from the color. But once you presented the color to the client in the first place, then there's nothing to fall back at. There's no correction you want to do to it again, except for you to redesign entirely. But if the client doesn't feel your black and white logo, you still have one last option to convince the client that the logo is okay, which is by adding color to it. I don't know if you understand me. So it is important you present in black and white first, then the breakdown, then the colored, then the typography. Since I use a custom font, it's ideal to just put the font alone first. Use the typography. You can just label it custom typography. Now you can label practically every slide. Label this colored icon. And you can label this grid line, construction, and grid. I even, it's not necessary you add your sketch. Most clients might not need your sketch. The essence of the sketch is for the beginning part of the logo. I mean, this is my approach to logo design. Before I present a logo to a client, I show them my sketch first. I sketch maybe two or three or four or five, depending on the inspiration I'm able to get online, depending on what could pop into my head at that moment. I can sketch like two, three, four. Then, after sketching, you present your sketch to your client so that they can see whichever one they prefer the most. So, from your client's option, I mean, this way doesn't work for everybody, but that's how I do mine. I mean, I feel it's better that way. So, once you select the sketch, you design that sketch for them, and you can also do another one and keep just in case the client is really not feeling it. You can choose the best one that you think, okay, this works perfectly for the brand, and design that and leave it one side. But you just present basically one to your client in black and white. So the first stage of the sketch, that means if you've presented the sketch to your client earlier, you might not be needing to add your sketch on this particular slide anymore. So let's say I've presented my sketch, so I won't be needing this. Basically what I'll be needing is there's the construction in the grid. See, I labeled it going front, incoming front, the brand name, initial, and this is the construction with the grid lines. So I can label this also back icon. Just kidding. So grayscale icon, then the construction and grid, custom typography, then the next page should be the full logo. I don't know if you feel me. I just label this full logo. Okay, so after the full logo, get you like this. Um, then the logo application on different colors. For example, yes, I excluded something here. After the grid line should come the color palette. Yeah. So if you have a color palette, after this should come the color palette. So let me create a page after color palette. So you might have primary color and secondary color. There are numerous ways to design your color palettes. I could decide to use rectangle. Say okay, yes, there they go. Okay, so here we have orange. Orange is basically the primary color. Then we have this yellow. These are the two primary colors. Then we can have other secondary colors. From my design, I think I have three secondary colors. No, it's just green and gray. Yeah, so let's get rid of this. I have this gray, also part of the primary color per se. Green is the only secondary color I have. So green, the green I selected. This is the green I used. So we just copy the fill here. So this is the color palette. Color palette. And if it, like I said, there are different ways to design your color palette. There's no one way to it. You understand me? So I have this like this here. Let me make it small. You just have to like make use of enough white space. There's what we call white space in design. Make sure there's enough white space so that your work will be neat and legible. And make sure your alignment is top notch. So I'm maintaining left alignment here. So we can also add the color codes. You can add it inside the color or under it. For example, to get color code of each color, just click on the shape, then double click here, this paint bucket, double click on it, then go to color viewers. Then you see this is the color code. You can just copy it, copy, okay, and close. Then you just type it out here. That's the color code. That's the X code. So I decide to put the RGB values and CMYK values. Same thing, go here, then you see, okay, instead of me going to color viewers, it's still the same thing anyways. You see, this is the RGB values, this is the CMYK values. You can decide to like open up your notepad and type in here RGB. R is 255, G is 83, B is 0. And for the CMYK, C is 0, M is 85, Y is 100, and K is 0. So you can just copy this back into your Coreldraw, just right under this. So you repeat the same process for this. You know, your client might not know the meaning of those colors, and some might know, but it's ideal you give them what is right. You understand? Because you don't know where your work will get to. They might actually meet someone very knowledgeable about all this stuff, and they'll be like, "The brand is shitty. They didn't give you everything. What's the color code for your brand?" And they'll be like, "What's that? The designer never informed me." You understand? So let's say for this here, I'm just gonna duplicate all this. So yeah, this is color palettes. So I can just copy this, paste here, color palettes. So there's one thing I'm trying to maintain in everything is I'm trying to, like what I said earlier, alignment and use of white space is very important. You can see where this is. You have to be consistent in on every layer, on every page. Now see where that is. This is way too low, so take it up. Do the same thing for this. Take it up. Yeah. So we have this. But now, looking at this, I feel like the alignment of this is now making this to look a bit off. So what I will do is I will align it to the left also. And so I can just change the color. It doesn't come off too ash. So bring my ruler here. All you just have to do is to drag from the ruler here with your left click button and drag it down to this edge or wherever edge you need your ruler. So I know that this is where my color is now. So I just do the same thing for others. I'll get to that edge and I change the color. The color. Just to make sure it is aligned. And that's what comes with professionalism. Okay, this is not where others were. So let me bring down that ruler from the top to the base. So I'll take this right there. So change the color also to gray. So after that, the logo application on different color background. Okay, let me just put this colors here. On the next page. So double click, double clicking by drag this down with your left click button, release with your right click. So fill it with this color, remove the outline, and duplicate it. Click down towards here, fill this. And I'll duplicate both again, bring it downwards, then with this, and then with this. So I got rid of this. Now I can decide to place my logo and see how it works best. On black, I'll use this. So this color we change to white. So you need contrasting colors. It is either black or white if you have. Then on this, it will be all white. And this also all white. That's what works. And this also all white. So it is only on black that you can use. Yeah. So we've